Here, welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of the blueprint how-to tutorial. In the last video we got a quick overview of how blueprint kind of works with the different kind of nodes. In this video we'll learn how to use events and learn about casting. We already saw some input action events from the default third-person blueprint where the person could look around and use the keyboard. So those are input action. In this sample video that I have here, we have the third person character that would step on this box collider or the cylinder and it would turn on the lights. So this is what we're going to learn how to do. So using events, it fired off and turned on the lights, and when I move away from that cylinder it turned off the lights. So let's learn how to do that. So first, open up Games Launcher and start a new project and open up the third person template and with the starter pack on. So here I'm starting from scratch. Cool. So from here, open up the third person folder and go under blueprints, and let's create our first blueprint class. So right click, select blueprint class, and for the most common classes it would ask you to pick a parent class. Select the actor and let's name this lamp. Double click to open and just snap it like that so it becomes its own tab. So under components here you would see it's bare. Click on add and select static mesh, and a static mesh should be added there. These are all the details of the static mesh. You could go here and select a particular static mesh. So I'm looking for the SM lamp wall, and I'm just gonna rotate this 90 degrees. Oops, not on the Y but on the, I'm just gonna rotate this on the Z axis for 90 degrees, and then I'm also gonna add a point light. I'm gonna increase the point light to about 10,000. Compile, go back to my third person map and just drop that in the wall like so. Let me just zoom in. Cool. So now we have it on the wall. It's currently on. So what I'm gonna do is go under point light here and look for visibility under rendering visible and turn that off. Then compile, and that should be off in there. So the next, go ahead and save that. The next blueprint that we're gonna create is the button. So under here, select blueprint again, select actor again, and this time let's name this BP button. And under here, under components, search for cylinder, and let's make this a little bit thinner. So I'm gonna make this 0.1, and next I'm gonna add a box collider. So search for box collision. It's gonna put this bounding box on here. You could adjust the extent, so I'm just gonna adjust the X and the Y to 40, move it a little bit up, maybe a little bit here on the side. Compile, save, go back to the third person level map and drop that anywhere. So basically what we want is when our character steps on this, the light should turn on. So we're going to use a little bit of events here. So go back to the BP button and go under the event graph. So there's already some pre-configured event graphs, event nodes here. We don't need any of this, so go ahead and delete it. So if you select the box collision that we just created here, you could scroll down and under events here, there are several events that you could create for that box collision. We're interested in the component begin overlap, so do that. So what this component does is we're going to check what the actor or what object overlap with this box. So we're interested with the player character overlapping on this box. So there's a couple of ways you could do this. I'm going to show you both. So first is I'm going to search for the pawn actor, and then we're going to compare on the other actor here. We're going to say equals, and then we're going to check if the player pawn is the other actor that collided with this box. And then if it's true, I'm going to select a branch here, wire those up. So if it's true, what we want is we want the point light, the light on the third level map here to turn on. So right now there's no way for this BP button to know about that lamp. So we need to create a reference on that lamp. So one way to do that is create a variable here. So let's call this lamp. And for the data type, select BP lamp and make sure that it's the object reference. Once that is created, you could drop that here and select get light. And we're interested in the point light. So search for point light. And from the point light, we want to make it visible. So we're going to set the visibility. So we're going to set the visibility to true. And that get player pawn is the actor that hit it. We're going to set it to true. So if I compile and save this and run this, when I overlap this, it's not going to work. That's still not going to work. So what we need to do is go back to the BP button, go under lamp here, and make this instance editable. So that's something that always kind of trips up why it's not working. Go under instance editable, make sure you compile, save, go back to the third person level, and under the select that again, and now you have this section for the lamp. So using the eye picker, you could select that lamp, and when you play this now, you would see that it should be able to interact. But when I step out, it doesn't turn off. So let's go back and adjust a little bit more. So let's go back to the BP here. So we know that the player pawn is the one that is interacting with the box and it's overlapping. What we could do here is we could delete this as well and use what is known as casting. So if the other actor here, if I say cast to BP third person controller, it's going to try to check if that object overlapping that is the third person character. If it is, we want to hook that up. If it's not, then you could do something else. You could also reach into that third person character and do to its function and other variables, and you could change those settings if you want to. So if I just quickly test this out, it's still working. If I click on overlap, you would see that it still works. Cool. So the next one we're gonna do is we're simply gonna copy this, duplicate it. I hit Control D, and using the box collider here, I'm gonna select on end overlap and hook that up again. So basically the other actor connects to the object here and this, and we're gonna set the visibility to false and save. And let's give that another try. Step, turn off, step, turn off. Cool. So that's a quick overview of events and a little bit of casting and how you could control have object reference to other blueprints. Hope you like this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about interface on the next tutorial. Cheers. Bye for now.